Good morning. What is up? Jason Gulick here. Goo,
Good morning.
Deed.
Morning. How's it going, Jason?
It is outstanding. Happy Sunday. Happy
Happy
Sunday.
Sunday. Happy
The sun
Sunday.
is starting to come up here in Phoenix, Arizona. How's Houston treating you?
It's beautiful. I've been up for about an hour and a half. Did my morning walk with the birds. Now I'm just caffeinating myself.
Right. So let's just go ahead and dive right back into it. Finish talking a little bit more about the IWCA. Um, Before we left last time, we were talking a little bit about some of the breakout classes and what what to expect when we get there. Right before we got on, started recording, we were talking about Gabriel Gutierrez's class and um, break it down for me because I actually didn't attend that class.
Yeah, the class he basically broke it down. Like, hey, do you clean windows? Watch this. And he showed you the basic. I don't want to be childish, but he showed you how to do a straight pull. With the correct positioning of the squeegee, correct placement of the window squeegee blade to the top, and then the pull. So he demonstrated, did a lot of demos on glass, side straight pulls, vertical, horizontal. So it was pretty neat to see. In the groups we always laugh, oh, you should have fanned
Yeah.
that window, or I would straight pull that window. But either one, you're damned if you do, damned if you don't. But watching him do it was a really cool boost of confidence that I do straight pulls all the time, especially if I'm going to water fed pull a house right after straight pull, straight pull, straight pull. It works just as well if you know what you're doing. But he described how to do it. You got to tilt the squeegee a little. It's all stuff that we've been doing, but it's neat to see the guy with 30, 40 years experience friggin' doing
Yeah.
it the way you're doing it to just remind you that, yeah, I got my shit together. I know what I'm doing. Um,
So one of the benefits, exactly. I in the beginning of that class, like the intro, I'm going to go
mm,
back a couple steps. They asked people, "Hey, how many people here have been on the glass for so long, or years and years?" But when you looked around the rooms, a lot of these people at the IWCA were fairly new to cleaning, right? And a
yes.
lot of these people were employees. Like you're bringing your guys or gals to these events to get uh, up to par, up to snuff, right? So
Yes.
we're kind of joking about the whole straight pull thing versus fanning, and everybody talks crap in the rooms to one another about which way they would do it. Doesn't matter as long as it comes out clean. It comes out clean, right? But
Yes.
watching someone demonstrate the hows and whys, what it must have been pretty beneficial,
Oh,
and
yeah. I
that's
mean, just the one thing, like the closeout, how you got smack the rubber, pull the water off the glass. I'm pretty
yeah,
effing lazy. I was lazy about that. I would just, I wasn't taking my straight pull seriously. I wasn't doing step seven, which is
yeah.
completely make super contact with that ledge type deal. So, just
Well,
little
that's pretty
things,
cool.
but yeah. So he did a great job on showing the beginnings of window cleaning. Yeah.
Yeah, I caught just a little bit of that one, but then I dipped out. Did you catch any? I know Megan Likes did a course too. Was that on budget and finance?
That was on budget and finance, and I think I was wandering around during that one. I think Jeff likes they did another talk in another room type deal, but I think I was wandering at that time. I think I was eating breakfast. I wanted to
No,
see Megan likes,
you
but
and I actually were. So Jeff and Dave did another one during the same time as the Megan one, and we did
mhm.
hit that one. Pardon me, my dogs are going crazy. We did hit that one. It was that one wasn't the. I forget which one that was. Um, but I should have been at the budget and finance one.
Yeah.
That probably should have been one that I should have attended.
For anyone who
Um,
missed Megan likes talk, I guarantee you that she said a couple of things. One, raise your prices. Two, raise your prices. And three, double or triple your prices. And there, you caught Megan's talk. Save up for taxes and then raise your prices. That's all she's going to tell you, and that's great advice. Uh, but she does a lot of talks. Megan, her accounting, she does great work. But she also speaks at the huge convention, which is coming up. So if you need accounting and professional assistance, she can help later in the year.
right on. Let's talk a little bit more about like the networking and how easily accessible people are when we're at these conventions too. Obviously, you and I both kind of already know some of the big hitters at WCR, Jersey, Steve-O. But in the beginning, before you meet them, it's kind of like not like intimidating, but you're
Sheepish.
like, no, yeah, you don't want to just roll up on somebody and be like, "Hey, I'm so and so." But
Hey, that's fun.
yeah, they are accessible, and they take time to talk to people and break stuff down for them. I did get a chance to speak with both of them again this time, and I still, not fanboy, but like it's cool to be able to get to pick their brains and learn a thing or two. Was there anybody there this time that you got a chance to meet that you hadn't really had time to spend time with?
Good question. I'd say that would be, talking with Jersey, Steve-O, um, talking with Mike Nichols, meeting him and Zane was pretty awesome. Having breakfast with those guys a couple mornings was insightful and fun. Different to the norm of kind of guys I hang out with, good old boys and stuff. But I think everybody at the whole convention, you walk around, you sit in the classes, you're checking the booths, you're seeing the same vendors. I've, I use Clippa. I'm a Christmas light installation professional association, whatever. But I see the same ladies, every event. So I always say hi and thank them for doing great work. Same thing with the Mormon guys, Zero Window. Everybody at these conventions you see all the time, and you're always like, hey, how's it going? It's neat. It's really cool to see everyone still around. And sadly, every year there's guys in our industry that aren't going to make it to the next one. We had David Wyatt, who was a gutter cleaner. I used to see him at the huge, and he's not going to be attending anymore because he had an injury fall from a ladder. So these conventions are bittersweet. They're a good place to see guys and get your morale and spirits up. Good place for safety, but it's I don't know. Just all in all, it was great meeting you there. It was just cool meeting everybody and just walking around and people watching. That's a cool part of Vegas and these conventions, the strangers you're going to meet and stuff.
Yeah. Speaking of the us getting together at this one, I sent you a clip of the first time we actually met. So
Mm.
hopefully you can use that somewhere for an intro or
I'll
a
post it. Yeah,
yeah, an
I'll throw it
add-on
in
to
somewhere. It'll be fun. Like
one of
catching
our
me
other
one.
sites. And
Yeah,
further on, later on down the road, you can tell a little story about backstory on that one.
sure thing. Yeah, 1 foot off the
Um,
merry-go-round for sure.
Okay. So some of the other networking people, I saw someone in the room the other day ask a question about difference between GG3 and GG4. We talked to the guys at Titan, right?
Yeah, yeah. I was like, hey, what's the difference between why is it so slippery? What's GG3 got to do with GG4? Do I need to go there? Like I said, I use the blue GG3 all the time, but I'm curious about GG4. I want some of that. So he's like, well, where are you from? Where do you work? I was like, Houston. It's fucking 110 degrees in the July and August. He goes, stay with what you've got. They're both the same, good material. They keep the window wet so your blade can slip on it. It's just a matter of, preference of color, smell. They will both keep the window equally dry. There might be a small, minute difference of like evaporation, whatever. But if you're using 3 or 4, just stick with what you've got because if it's as long as it's working. So he said he's got a good product. I've been using GG3 for quite a while, the blue stuff, and I love it. I add a couple drops, whatever to every window cleaning to help keep it wet, and then watch it evap off the window frame.
So hearing it straight from the horse's mouth, there's nothing like straight reassurance, right?
Yeah, I was like, can I buy some 4? He goes, you don't need 4. Stay with the 3. I was like, fuck yeah, I don't have to buy anything else. So he talked me out of buying the GG4 because I was already in love with the 3. So there's no reason, you just keep with what you're working with. So, a lot of guys will just use Dawn dish soap. They won't add any surfactants or additives to keep the window wet. The stuff, when you add more bubbles to the window, those bubbles actually evaporate faster. So your solution, when it's all bubbly, you've probably knocked a few seconds off of the drying time, evaporation time. So the window needs to be glossy and wet, not bubbly. So less suds, the better. So the GG3 keeps the window wet without a whole fuck ton of bubbles everywhere, and that'll keep your window wet for a couple more seconds to squeegee that shit off. And I'm not paid to
Um,
say that, but it's a pretty good product. That's all I like using it.
you know, and let's be straight, we're really new at this podcasting thing. So we're trying to learn how to do this stuff. We're not paid to say anything. We just know what products we like, which
Yeah,
products we use, which products work for us. Um, I would just want to put that out there. Like,
yeah. We love Dawn dish soap for dishes, but
yeah,
if you can, yeah, a lot of guys use it for windows. It's quality and affordable.
Yeah, and dude, I use Dawn for years. And a matter of fact, there's always some backup in the truck. But
Sure.
I've been rocking the Crush and Gladiator lately. Um, they both kill for me. I totally love the
Yeah.
Crush though. It just feels right. Um, yeah. Anyways, back to the networking stuff. I don't want to go off on a tangent because that's easy to do on a Sunday morning. I want to say something that was unique for me and cool. I got a chance to, as I mentioned in our intros or whatever, some of you guys know, some of you don't. I sometimes do some freelance writing for American Window Cleaner magazine. And I was able to meet Daniela, who is man, she's a badass. She does drops out of San Diego, California, and crushes. She was on the cover of American Window Cleaner mag earlier this year, and I follow her on Insta, and some of the shit she
Cool.
posts is just so rad, inspiring. I'm all about that positivity. I'm always like, I want to find the good in everything and everyone. I, I don't know. I'm an optimist, right? I am a realist, but I'm an optimist. And getting to meet her was pretty rad. And obviously Damien was there, and he and I have spent some time together when I've been in Colorado. So just getting to spend time with him was chill. It's neat because um, he and I don't feel obligated that I have to spend time with him at these events because I know I'm going to see him. Actually, I'm going to see him next week when I go to Denver again. But
Cool.
it's cool. Like, yeah, I don't have to worry about like latching on and getting just a tiny, those minutes of time with
Sure.
each person if I'm going to get to see them soon. But meeting Daniela and the people from Sorbo was really amazing. For me personally, that was really cool. Um, I met Brian from Poor Man Window Cleaning out in, I think he's in Idaho. But Poor Man Window Cleaning, got a chance to meet him very, very briefly. We were just like two ships passing in the night, but at least being able to say hello was good. Gave him a hug, said what up. And you know what? Seeing Alex and Chris from WCR, they always just kind of put a smile on my face. Um, they're so genuine and again so approachable and knowledgeable and accessible. Like they're not too cool to talk to people, and it makes events like that really really fun. So I'm
Yeah.
super glad that I went, man.
Yeah. Insightful. And I mean, yeah, the whole event, every meeting the vendors, like I said, Chris, Alex, your big thing, you got to see Richie Blue over at Maker. That was pretty fun. I know you were excited about that one. The
Yeah.
great white buffalo appears in nature.
For
Um,
me, it was, dude. I'm telling
yeah,
you, like it was a big deal for me. Um, and then we got invited to go have dinner and talked with Casper and whatnot. Um, and Damien was informative with his, sharing with his time and just hearing how much work goes behind getting some of this product to us.
I'm sure.
Logistic, like kind of you broke down a little bit last time. It's amazing. And I feel like um, not like we have an in or anything, but like our voices are heard, and that's just a
Well,
really cool thing.
if you go to these events and you talk to people, you can share your opinions with people. And if these
Yeah,
people want opinions of window cleaners, they're going to listen to your opinion and hear what you have to say. Whether it's good information or bad information or ideas for for the future of the industry. They want to hear this shit because some of these guys that run these big window cleaning companies, and I'm sorry, not window cleaning suppliers, stuff like that. Some of them aren't really window cleaners. They're very smart
businessman.
businessmen. They're accountants. They've got fucking master's degrees in business finance and shit, and they need input because they need to know if a product is good or if this is stuck or sucks or cheap or stupid or not. People won't buy it. So yeah, they always want to listen to you, bend your ear. So you never know who you're going to meet, who you're talking to at the bar, whatever, at these conventions. Because you'll always pick something up or a little nugget of information, or you'll give something to somebody else, whether it's a guy in the business, an employee, or a distributor or sales guy up in the window cleaning type deal.
When you're saying that, you've been to like 5, 6 huges, right?
Yeah,
Something like that. And was that your first IWCA?
that was my first. Yeah, yes, it
Okay.
was.
So of all of the events and conventions that you've attended for these, is there one conversation or one person that you've had where you walk away and you're like, and then later on you find out there's somebody larger than life, or there's somebody bigger than you thought, or I don't know. I don't know how to phrase that question, I guess.
You sent me a photo of you and Jello up in Vegas, and I just about shit my pants. How the fuck did he get here? You know? But there was like shit. Last time at the Huge, I was walking around, I saw Jay Camaro. So
Oh,
I whipped out
dude.
my Camaro belt. I was like, "Hey, can you sign my towels?" He's like, "Not now, man." He's like Bobcat Goldthwait. No, it's
Oh
just
my God,
these
bro.
every conversation with somebody, whoever you run into at these conventions, is always a nugget. You can always find something cool. Um, it's always an adventure. You just have to open up. You got to meet people. You got to talk to them. You've got to introduce yourself. Give them a card. If you see somebody from Facebook, YouTube, go talk to them. Like, hey, I like your videos. Whatever. Don't be shy, because these events are for people talking.
Yeah,
We
man. Dude,
we
that
give
whole
up.
that whole
Go ahead.
that whole Jello thing.
Yeah.
All right. So just so backstory for everybody to completely understand. Deeds and I separate like constantly. We're all like we're together for a couple minutes and then we'll go do our own things real quick and then we'll meet up like about half hour later, right? So I dip and I come back. I tell him, yo, I swear to you, I just saw Jello. It was the craziest shit. Like he had on the stuff and he's like, oh no, he turns around and points like to upstairs to go to the entry thing. And I was like, man, this guy looks just like Jello. If it is or not, I don't know.
Sure.
So like 2 days later, I'm still like in the back of my mind, I'm like, dude, if I see this cat, I gotta get a picture. 2 days later, the guy like locks eyes with me as we're crossing the casino floor. And I turn around, I'm like, oh, wait, hold on a
Sounds like
second.
him. Yeah.
Yeah, so locks eyes with me. Yeah, it was crazy. So then I'm like, dude, and I look down at his badge, and his name is, I think it's like Leonardo or something. And no disrespect to Leonardo or
He
whatever
loves
your
being a
name is.
turtle.
I forget. No, I forget what his name is. He was super polite. I think he was also from Houston, to be
Oh,
honest. If you zoom in on his name badge, you might be able to see. But yeah, I was like, you look like somebody, and I didn't want to say I'm sorry, but like I don't even know if he's in the rooms or not. But like I didn't want to be like, hey man, yeah, you look like this guy that everybody busts his balls because he's just putting constant crazy shit on the internet.
his name
Um,
was whatever. He's like, why should I change my name? He's the one who sucks.
yeah, right.
Michael Bolton. But yeah, that
Michael.
was funny. I got the text message from you, and all I saw was you and him, you and Jello. And like, look who I ran into, and I'm rolling dice. I'm like, you unlucky bastard! Don't bring him over here. Like, fuck my shit up with this Jello up here. But
Oh,
it
dude,
wasn't him, so that was funny.
that yeah, well, he says it wasn't. I don't know, man. Maybe it could have. Maybe he's tricking the
Under the
whole
radar.
universe. Yeah,
Yeah.
man. Maybe he's tricking the whole universe. I don't know.
Mm-hmm. Maybe that
Um,
was funny. I mean, you run into people like that. People, I've seen the same guy took a clip of course a couple of years ago. The same guy, I think his name is Michael. I run into him every year, and we always laugh. Hey, how you doing? Turns out he's been cleaning windows for like 25 years, and it's just nuts. The people you see and meet. It's really neat. Very cool.
Speaking of people you see and you meet, I met that youngster. I think you did too.
Oliver,
Uh,
yeah.
and his dad, and watching somebody get so jacked, like a kid in a candy store, literally a kid.
He's like
Um,
Craig Hensel, like
yeah, and
reincarnated as the Buddha.
also coming up huge and winning that system. That was rad, dude. And it
That was
was
cool.
like it was just a really cool, like I don't know, it felt like it just felt good and it felt right. Like it was cool to see that kid walk away with that.
Yeah, it
Um,
weighs more than he does, so he's like, that's cool.
no joke, right?
He's
So
like tall
I
as he is,
told
yeah.
I told Jersey and Chris and Alex and anybody who will listen, man, I'm not exactly the biggest guy. These machines, I gotta like do some workouts, make my wrist stronger so I don't bust a wrist or something. Hope that kid gets some help. And his dad said he's always there to make sure it gets off the truck right. So
Oh yeah,
that's rad. And see his dad
dad's
to support him too. That's so cool. You know what I
that is
mean?
awesome. Yep, they're inspiring him to do good things. I mean, that kid, he's gonna change things. You know, he's gonna be an industry leader. He's gonna run businesses. He's gonna do good work as long as he can stay healthy and fucking churn out them windows. You know, he's got a good thing going for him, and he's got the right attitude. You know, he's a cool little kid.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. Um, Anybody else that I'm leaving out? Like, I can't think of. I just don't want to leave any stone unturned.
Hung out with Damien. Who else? I mean,
Any
just yeah, all the
highlights of your
vendors.
life?
Sorry.
The dog just screamed in my ear. Sorry, I didn't hear what you
Oh
said.
no, I want to hear what the dog screamed in your ear. That's pretty cool. I've never heard a dog scream before. Or was he
Yeah,
just yawning?
he yawns. He every morning in the morning he's like, all right, it's time to get up or whatever. Fred is awesome. He's one of a kind, I'll tell you what. Let me switch pivot to some how about some odd Vegas stories?
Uh-huh.
We're on our way, shit that only happens in Vegas, right?
Oh,
Um, we're on our way to breakfast with Mike, Zane, John B. And Mike and I are like walking through the casino. We watch this dude just like, and you're right there, like we're kind of like spread out, like I don't know, like
like a
a
flying
fan.
V, like a
Yeah,
flying V,
flying
but in a
V.
straight line.
And this gal's
That's,
getting roughed up by this dude, and he's kind of like dragging her. It almost looks like they're playing in the beginning, but then it becomes like real, right? And he's like kind of
yeah,
like
he was helping
dragging
her
her.
out pretty violently, helping her
Yeah.
leave, and it was sad. Yeah,
Well, and it looks like security's coming, right? And then they just stop at the door. It's like raining outside, and then all of a sudden this dude's just banging on this broad, like just beating her ass up and shit.
yeah.
And everyone's looking around for the cops, and we're like, what is going
And
on around here?
and top flight security for like some of the casinos are out there with their whistles and shit, and they're watching it go down. And they, nobody wants to touch or do anything because it's on Fremont Street, so it's technically the marshals in the Las Vegas is a problem. But you and a couple other guys started walking up,
Well,
and
dude, and he's like, the guy's like screaming after he's popped her a couple times, "You're drunk! Like, stop! You're embarrassing me! You're drunk!" And then she's screaming, "I just want more beer!" And it's like, man, fuck, dude, this girl's getting beat up. It's bad on like six different levels. You know what I
yeah,
mean? There's so much wrong going on here, but no one's even there to like stand
it's
up for
Vegas,
any. Yeah,
and
I
that's
guess,
sad. I mean,
dude.
well, the
Ugh.
problem nowadays in America is that the guy that stands up and helps either gets stabbed, shot, or put on trial for helping.
Yeah, well,
Sometimes
and
good deeds don't go unpunished, and that's the sad
no,
part.
there's like about 6 or 7 people. Everybody kind of started walking as we
Yes.
approached, so it made it feel
Yeah.
a little
And you
safer. You
stopped
never
him,
know
yeah.
if that dude's packing heat or like that's a really shitty way to start your day. Get shot for
Hmm.
standing up for somebody. Fuck that.
Yeah.
But at least she did her. She got up and whatever, dude. But
Just a
I will
weird,
say,
weird situation.
yeah, weird situation. But it led us to our Denny's where you actually held court
Huh.
and made sure that Zane was prepared for his upcoming nuptials.
Yes.
There's a wedding inside the Denny's at the end of Fremont Street, guys. So
Yeah,
if
they
you
have a
had
chapel. And they're very, yeah, it's a very, very cool place. I mean, you can get married at Denny's. You can get married probably down the street at, what's that other place? White Castle. You probably get married in there too. It smells like it's awful. But yeah, the Denny's, the good thing about Denny's, they have an A plus health rating. So you're not going to get hepatitis if you eat there. Guaranteed. They're pretty sanitary. But Mike and Zane had a good time at Denny's drinking coffee, talking about shit. Uh, yeah, I mean Vegas is a cool place. Just be careful when you after 9 p.m. walking through the casinos here, you're gonna get strippers or hookers like, "Hey baby, you want a blowjob?" And you're like, "No, I'm how much?" And you're like, "No, I'm good. It's too much." But no, it was no, I'm just kidding. You just got to be careful in Vegas, because everyone's out there to get your attention and to get your money. So just you know, but yeah, it's a people place. There's a lot of shit to see. Um, the fun part is walking around hearing people screaming because they won big at the tables. You walk by and this lady won $56,000, life-changing type shit on a $1 spin. Then you have the other guys who put it all on black and then it hits red and they're like fuck and they just go back to sleep. It's a really neat town. It's cool. But
Um, what are we've talked quite a bit about pretty much almost everything that we discovered and what we did at the IWCA. What do you think are the differences on IWCA and the Huge? For those who might be interested in going to the Huge, that's coming up August 20th through the 23rd, um, in Nashville, Tennessee, at the Gaylord Opryland.
yes, yep.
August 20th just so happens to be my 47th birthday. What? Let's go.
Happy
Um,
birthday in the future.
in a couple months. But yeah, I'll be there. You'll be there, right?
I'm thinking about it. I'm thinking about it. I got to
Yeah. You're
try and get
thinking
out there,
about
but
it, dude. You're thinking about it. Just make it happen.
I'm gonna use up some of my points to my wife, though. We'll see. But no, I'd like to go. I love these events. They're a good shot in the arm. You
Yeah.
should go to one event at least once a year. Just it's a business expense. So if it costs you $1,000 or $1,500, you write it off the end of the year. You get 300 back. Off your taxes and bullshit.
Yeah.
But yeah, the huge the difference. There are some differences. I mean, the huge at Opryland is huge. The difference, you're doing a lot more walking. I guess both places because you're still fucking walking a casino floor and whatever. But at the
Yeah.
huge is actually just huge. It's got twice as many vendors, twice as much floor space, maybe more. Um, but it's spread out over a large facility. So there's a lot of walking. There's a lot of talking. There's a sea of sublimation shirts at the huge compared with the IWCA. The IWCA is more like a intimate chit
Ugh.
chat with window cleaning. The huge is more of a conglomeration of home service businesses, vendors, and then us service guys, window cleaners, pressure washers, Christmas lights, gutters, even landscapers are starting to go to those things. But I'd say the huge has a lot to offer as far as breakout sessions. They've got like 2 days, whatever, full of like 9 to 10, 10 to 11, which the IWCA did. They had some great breakout sessions, but the huge just has a lot more different areas, different rooms, different exhibits to listen to different speeches, different people's keynotes, different stuff. So yeah, and there's more of I would say the huge is just a bigger plate of food to try and consume at once, so you can kind of pick it what you like. But what do you think of the
To
huge?
digest, a lot to digest there.
Yes, yes, there is.
Do you suggest a plan walking into an event like that, or do you suggest, I guess, free balling or free floating? Like, I
Well,
mean,
I
it
use the
depends on what
IW
kind of person you are.
kind of person you are. I mean, it depends what you're trying to get out of it. The huge convention is always a big networking slash breakout session, getting ideas. What software should I think of incorporating into the business? What's hot right now is AI answering good, is mobile texting, adding to CRM. Long story short is that there's just different things for a different person. I went to the IWCA as more like a battery charge because I've been sick for the last year, so I needed to kind of like get excited about window cleaning and shit again because I'm getting healthy, so I'm getting back at work, and holy shit, I need to get this done. So a lot of guys who go to the IWCA are it's a good business expense, write it off on your business. B, it's a good shot in the arm because it'll get you motivated and pumped. C, you're going to run into guys who are going to give you nuggets of information that'll change your business a little or give you ideas, with the dentist close, or following up or giving a free gift or texting before you leave. Like just stupid shit that you should be doing for your business that you see and hear other guys doing that you can bring back to yourself and use in your business. So I definitely advise anybody, go to the huge, get a whole bunch of information in there. The one thing at the huge, you're going to do a lot of walking, so bring good shoes. I'm definitely going to try and go to the IWCA next year, especially if it's in Vegas. Vegas is like a fucking playground. It's pretty fun. I enjoyed it. The Grand Ole Opry, that's fun.
Are
Nashville's
you
fun.
played out? Let me ask you, Mark. Are you
Yeah.
played out on the Grand Ole?
On the Grand Ole,
Yeah, like on the at Gaylord.
oh yeah, I'm done. I'm not a huge fan of that place as much as I was, only because it's,
You've been there.
you can get Osso Buco. You're paying $45 for it, and it's not that good. Uh, the resort has many restaurants. They're all good. I'm not shitting on them all, but it's the same thing. Or you'd leave and you drive down to Nashville, get an Uber, you rent a car. I think this is the last year at the Gaylord, so that's great. They're going to try a different venue. I think some of the guys who do the huge live close by and it's very convenient, which is great for
Yeah.
them. They own the fucking thing, whatever. But moving the venue next year will be pretty neat. I think the PWNA is going to combine with the IWCA convention, so they're going to like merge as the Cyclops next year. So the huge, it's going to be a little bigger and chunkier next year. So I would say, yeah, go for the huge. I'm excited to see where they're going to put it next year. If they're going to go to California, New York, or what
I
their
was
plan
just gonna
is.
ask you, have you heard like I don't I heard San Diego. I don't know but I don't know anything. You know what I mean? Like I'll try to pry when I see some of the guys from
Oh,
the
you'll never
huge.
get that info.
I know.
That's top secret. Sid will never
Yeah,
release it.
but it's
No,
always worth a shot. You know what I mean? I always like to, poke, see how many, like you said, see how many nuggets you can get. Um,
try it. Let's see.
I wanted to ask you about the huge too. When you're there, you've attended a few times in Nashville. Any particular spots on site that you recommend or off site that you recommend?
I don't leave site really because it's
Yeah,
all included right there. You know, you're gonna get a $12 beer, $12 mixed drink, whatever. That sucks, but it's part
yeah,
of, you got to pay the cost to be the boss. If you Uber down to Nashville, I know a lot of guys went down there with Frank last year, had a fucking great old time. Frank got lost. They just misplaced
yeah,
his ass, so he wandered around like Weekend at Bernie's, hello fellas, and found his way back to the hotel the next morning
yeah.
like
See,
Frankenstein.
I couldn't commit to that. Dude, they asked me. I think it was Jake, Brian. I want to say Brian Brown, maybe. I don't remember, but and Doc, the window Doc, Ryan
Oh,
Ballhorse out
okay,
of Hawaii, and
sure.
Frank. They're all wanting to roll down together, and they want me to roll down there, but they want me to sit bitch in the back of a Jeep, and I'm like, hard pass,
Hard
hard
pass.
pass. Yeah,
It's not 1998.
it does not sound like a good time shoved back there between. I mean, it sounds like it would probably be outrageous, but it also sounded like I could probably end up in handcuffs or some shit. So
It's Nashville. There's a 5% chance, yeah.
yeah. So I chose not to go that night. This
But yeah,
coming up,
at the convention, I mean, there's so many bars, they're everywhere. And that's all, what's window cleaner, pressure washers, all we do is drink. So you walk by, you'll see Jersey sitting at the bar, you walk up, order a drink, and you have a conversation. I see the Clippa girls, and everybody from Clip is at the bar. You hang in, you duck in, you say hi. Met a couple of fellas, had a great old time. Just shooting off the shit, sharing stories from work with a couple of dudes and just having a good old time. It's pretty neat. I mean, you'll run into people, you'll meet people like how we hung out at IWCA. That'll be lifelong friends, and
yeah.
uh, it's a cool networking event. You got to go to them.
You want to hear a fun story? So when I was sitting at the huge last year, I get a text from my boy John Magdos, either a text or a call, and
Mm,
he's like, "Yo, and I'm sitting at the bar or around the bar, and I had not met Patty Cole yet. I didn't even know who she was or Glassy Lady, right? Um, but my boy John sends me a text, and he's like, "Yo, is Patty Cole there?" And I was like, I don't know, like I have no idea." And then all of a sudden, I hear Frank or somebody laughing and chuckling and so, "Oh, Patty, you're," and I was like, "Oh shit." So I
yeah,
turn around and walk up to her and I was like, "Excuse me, are you Patty Cole?" And she's like, "Yes, I am." And I said, "My name's Jason. I just got the text." And I show her this text from my
yeah.
boy John Magdos. So I'm like, "I just got this text from my boy John Magdos asking me, 'Yo, Patty, are you here? So can you do me a favor?'" And so she's, "Of course." So we get a snapshot, and now
Cool.
Patty and I are cool, man. She's a great gal. Um, in
Paddy.
Dude, that was a wild night. That was a
Yeah,
wild night. One of the one of the one of the things that I have that's like a personality or a character defect, so to speak, is I love people, but I like lots of big surroundings sometimes get overwhelming for me. So I can hang out for a little bit, but then I got to dip and like get
sure.
some fresh air or whatever. So oftentimes you noticed, you watch how I move, you know what I mean, like and I think you kind of do, you are very somewhat similar. I can get like sensory overload or whatever, and I
Sure.
need to go get fresh air, and so I got a lot of opportunities to talk with window washers in general at the huge because we were all very much hanging out in the same areas. So I got one-on-one time with Patty, I got one-on-one time with Fletcher, I got one-on-one time with Tim, I got one-on-one time with TJ, like, and that was really to me invaluable, and that's something that I'm super very much looking forward to coming up at the next one. If all these cats, decide to still go, it will make the time even better. So
I'd like to see the Justice League assemble for this huge. Uh, it's really neat. It's cool. I mean, WCR is going to bring in, their reps. They're all sweet, awesome dudes. And we'll just see whoever, the pro window cleaning group. We'll see if Craig can get down there again. We'll just keep our fingers crossed. Maybe Frank will get
can
a
I,
fucking visa approval and come out. We'll see. You know,
dude,
you
I
know.
want to say one of the things that I am looking forward to at the huge is going to be Craig Hensel. I know he's putting so much work and just love and effort into what he's
Mhm.
got going on. That he does that with anything he does.
Very
So
passionate. Yes.
I want to support him in any way we can.
Mhm.
And the guys from WCR have been super great to us, both personally. I mean,
Sure.
they sent me home with some great gear at the IWCA. I can't thank them enough. Um, I'll put out some content on some of the stuff they sent me home with soon. And I've got some big projects coming up, and it's really going to help out with what they
Yeah.
did.
Yeah.
So I can't. You saw, um, you saw how I was super surprised, super shocked, and I still am super grateful. I'm kind of like not emotional, but just I'm kind of like reliving it as I'm telling you.
And if
How
anybody wants to realize what he's going through, watch the movie Pretty Woman to the point where Richard Gere gives her the necklace or whatever and snaps it shut. He's like, "Oh!" That was like the excitement and giddiness. He was like, check it out. And it's like, holy shit. Your equipment that you've got and stuff is going to be pretty awesome. And it was tits, dude. It was really cool.
yeah,
I'm happy for
and
you.
I think that after we get this show rolling, what I'd like to do is we're gonna donate some of this stuff to some of some I guess our friends.
Throwing it
We don't
back to
have
the
fans.
friends.
We
Yeah.
don't have we don't have fans. We have friends,
We
right?
have friends.
So I'd like to donate some of this stuff, and make sure that anybody who's paying attention or has any questions that they shoot them to us. We'll try our best to
We
answer
will
any questions
try, yes. Yeah.
that you may have. Um, One of the things that we also said too is like we're gonna try to keep each other accountable. And if you have anything that you're working on, send us a text or send us something and be like, hey man, I need to get this shit done by a certain date. Give me a shout, give me a nudge or whatever, and one of us will do that for you.
Sure will. It's accountability. That's what this is about. One of the things I want to give away is this beauteous maker box. I'm not sure what's in here, but I've got an extra silencer just hanging out. So I'd
Bro.
like to dedicate for the Goo and Deeds morning show, whatever's going on. That's another thing. We're going to be thinking about brainstorming, what we're going to call this shit, moving forward, what we're going to do. But I want to give this away in the next week
Yeah.
or three to a lucky listener, somebody who likes, comments, and follows us on whatever the fuck platform we're going to launch on here. But we're going to do stuff. You're going to be giving away stuff. I'm going to try to give this away. WCR Zero is going to step up and try to help out with some swag and some cool shit.
Yeah.
And we're
We
just
want
looking
to
to give
send
some good content.
Yeah, we want to send some stuff out to our friends. Definitely throw us some questions too. Um, I don't really put it out there very often, but I am an affiliate with WCR. I'm also on Team Zero. If you have any questions, call me. Um, I'll I'll answer anything I can, dude. I mean, I'll just be straightforward. I'm not really out there trying to plug links and all that stuff. If you want to call me, and I'll make sure you get set up. Yeah, man. We'll make sure that we get you guys all taken care of. And thanks again to Chris and Alex for offering, a little support behind us. They know that we are genuine people, and we're just trying to get down and help, and have some fun too. Um,
Yep.
I want to. Can I touch on something
Sure.
so in the last 48 to 72 hours, I had two friends lose their lives in their battles with some bullshit, man. And it's kind of
Sorry,
like
man.
weighing on, it's kind of, yeah, thank you. It's kind of weighing on my heart, and it's kind of weighing on my head. And both these dudes are bright, we're bright, bright spots in the world, right? And they loved very hard. They had some difficult issues. One of them was lost to addiction, and one of them was suicide. And it all boils down to mental health. And we kind of fucking joke, not joke, but I say, we want to be here for one another. I mean it. Like, if you guys are going through some shit, give me a shout. Because I don't want to
Awesome.
hear about another one of my friends or another window washer or somebody that's going through some shit that didn't pick up the phone.
Sure.
Like,
That's powerful, man.
I just,
Yeah.
both of these dudes were both like wonderful men. They just couldn't, they had some shit that they couldn't get off their chest, and they just couldn't stop. But I want to tell people too that, like, we do recover. Um, we do we do have capacity to love. We can be empathetic, and we can be strong all in the same time.
Sure.
Deeds, I want to say thank you, because I know that you're allowing me to have a safe space to say this stuff. And it's been something that I've been wanting to get off my chest. And you had no idea I was going to do this one this morning. I had no idea I was going to do this one this morning.
Like,
But
speak your mind. That's what the show is. Yeah.
seeing these posts, bro, and knowing that some of this stuff could be prevented, I just had to, like, I have to say,
Well, yeah.
if anybody needs anything, give a shout. There's suicide hotline, prevention hotline. You can call fucking Goo 602-554-2804. I'll talk you down. Shit.
Yeah.
I'm here for it.
People need to remember, people will miss you. It's not, never make that final decision. Get some help, talk to somebody, because think of the people you're going to leave behind that have to pick up the pieces and are going to miss you. They love you. So if you're thinking of some dark thoughts, give out a shout to Jason, call myself, reach out to us, reach out to somebody.
My boy Shane Smith, Shane O'Mac, I love you, man. This is hurtful. This dude was like a tiny but larger than life man. You have no idea. This guy was just phenomenal. And my boy Chris Stanley, he knew the Bible back and forth, but just couldn't stop using.
Sure.
I love both of them very much, and I'm sorry for the I just want to give love to their families, and you know I I don't know what
Just
I
don't
do know.
forget them.
Yeah,
Keep
I
their
won't.
memory alive.
And I want to tell everybody that's listened so far, I'm here for you. Seriously,
Yep.
if you need a hand or just an ear to bend, give me a shout. Um, Again, Deez, I appreciate you allowing me to let that one loose.
No, this is what the show is about. It's helping people, second chances, all that shit. That's if you're watching the show and you have an addiction, you have an issue, we're there with you. We've all had those issues, and we want to talk about it. If you have something to get off your chest, if you want to get talked down from something, Jason or I are here to help. Jason's a big inspiration for addiction and recovery. And so, yeah, speak your mind, brother. This is a good spot for you.
Well, and let me tell you too, if you think you're alone in this industry, and there's so many people that you can turn to for support, for wisdom, for guidance. There's all sorts of men and women that have already walked this path that will walk it with you. So also, if you've listened to this far and you want to give a shout out to somebody, or you want to shoot out your sobriety date, drop that bitch. Throw it in there. I want to
3
fucking hear
days,
it.
5 years, put it down there. We don't care. Just keep it going.
Yeah, man.
Make it more
I want
tomorrow.
to hear it. I'm here to support that too. So, I guess we're about wrapping up on time. And I don't mean to end it on like a sour or dour note. So I do want to say that, like I said, I'm gonna remember those guys for the amazing men that they were, and for the wonderful qualities that they have and had, and all the great things that they gave to our society when they were here. So
Well,
I don't know.
their memories will live on with you and their families. So
Thank
they
you.
won't be forgotten. And
I appreciate that, man.
hopefully the people they left behind can remember the good times and be inspired to not make drastic decisions or make bad decisions. You know, when you lose someone to suicide, it hurts so bad. You know, you
Yeah,
realize the pain that you go through that you wouldn't want to inflict that on anybody else. You know, it's a horrible pain that not for yourself, but for others that you leave. So always reach out to somebody. You're loved by someone. You know, don't no matter what you think, reach out for help.
absolutely. And the guys, they knew it too, and I'm just it's just unfortunate.
Hmm.
But what we will think on too is I'm glad that you and I have one another. We have our family, we have our friends, and these are great things that we can look forward to.
Yep.
Um, big things this week. I know we're gonna get down tomorrow morning too.
Yeah, we'll get down tomorrow morning. We'll do our Monday morning action and we'll post it up. We're working on right now. What we need to do is figure out a name. We need to solidify a name, get our shit together on that one. So Goo and Deeds, if you've got a good idea for a name for a morning show, slap it down there. Give us an idea. Um, Other than that, yeah,
Do you
we'll
have
pound it
any
out
that
tomorrow.
you like so far?
I'm not like I don't know if something incorporated with windows or panes or I don't know. Go and Deed sounds good, but you know if it's like Deed and Raj in the mornings or something like that. I don't know like what aspect or what we want to lock in because you've got a couple. You know, there's a lot of different podcasts. You know, you got uh, Squeegee Life, which is all about window cleaning and the life that goes with it. You've got the Lower Rung, which they talk about the entrepreneurship aspect with Austin and Zane and them, and we're trying to find our chewy chunk niche. So I like
Yeah,
something with morning, something with coffee. You know, I drink a shit ton of that. That's for sure. I know you do too. So
yeah.
cheers. So if you have any ideas for morning shows that don't suck, let us know in the comments. Give us a buzz.
Hey, let me ask. Like Wake and Wash was one. I kind of like that one.
I like it.
Uh, Fill your bucket.
Yeah, that sounds like a two girls one cup thing. That could be like
It's like
like
fill your bucket. I used to, or I love watching and listening to Dan Patrick Radio,
okay,
sports, and the dude always talks about is your passion bucket full, and
right.
I get a lot of my ideas from things that he's done on his show, and inspiration. I've been listening to his sports talk show for 15, 16 years, and it's helped me get through some serious shit. So
Cool.
that's kind of why I want to
Well,
make
we
sure
can.
that we're doing something inspirational, inspiring, thought provoking, and fun. Um,
Sure.
but so yeah, that's another one out there that I liked. But yeah, please, if you got some ideas, throw it out there. Um, I don't know, man. I want to say thanks, dude. You're the
No, thank
best.
you. And you enjoy the rest of your morning. It's fucking early. What is it? It's like 8:30, 8:45.
7:42.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
All
it's
right.
early.
I got a little
We're up
soccer
making these
action.
damn videos for you guys. So if you find it interesting and should give us a like, a follow. We're gonna be churning them out here, changing things up a bit, but we hope to get some good content and good shit out to you guys as we get our feet wet and get our bearings and shit.
You got
So
it. Any feedback is appreciated, guys.
cool. Well,
All
thanks
right.
a lot, guys.
Enjoy the rest of your day. We'll catch up tomorrow morning.
All right, morning, guys. See ya.
Late.